You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. Essence Festival just concluded. Thousands upon thousands of folks, hundreds of thousands of folks were in New Orleans for the annual event. And one of the folks who spoke to the folks here was Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. Of course, he is running for the Democratic nomination for president. Had an opportunity to sit down with him. Here's our conversation. Hey, folks, Roland Martin here, the 25th Essence Festival. Joining us right now, Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, Democratic presidential candidate. Senator, how you doing?
First of all, you know I can't start off without talking about your pocket game today. we have this thing, every time I see him, it gets better. This is some wild stuff right here. Well, I don't know if that's a pocket square or a feather.
It's a feather. I debuted this at Essence about 6-7 years ago. Steve Harvey and I were going at it with pocket squares, and I said, I got something for you this year.
I'm impressed.
And I hit him with the feathers.
You are.
So my sister, who is an artist, so she actually makes custom-made. After I did this, people have been ordering custom-made feather pocket squares.
I just want you all to know, first of all, this man is setting standards in fashion as well as in radio and TV. I'm honored to be on with you always.
All right, glad to be here. First of all, is this your first Essence? You been there before?
No, I've been here before,
okay.
Man. What kind of brother doesn't want to come to Essence Fest?
I've met several first-timers.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Well, this is where I like to just walk the floor like I did today.
Right.
Because you just see this incredible gathering of black excellence. Incredible women. I feel like in many ways this is kind of like a family reunion.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've skipped many family reunions to be here at Essence.
Yes.
So I tell my family, don't put it on July 4th weekend. I ain't going to be there.
Yes.
When you talk about this idea of black excellence, obviously there are serious issues that are on the table for this audience here. When you talk about, obviously, economics, when you talk about entrepreneurship, when you talk about education, health, all of those different issues, what do you think it was going to take for you to connect with this demographic to get them to support your candidacy for president?
Well, first of all, I can only be who I am. My entire professional life has been spent in black and brown communities working on the issues you're just talking about. I came out of Yale Law School, moved right into inner city Newark, lived in the projects for almost a decade, and I still live in that very neighborhood right now. And we've done things. You walk around my block, I can show you Vonda, who we helped get access to capital, open up a business that's thriving now, double parking, triple parking just to get into her soul food restaurant. I can show you the school that now is ranked one of the best schools in America. So these are issues that, this is not me just talking about what I'm going to do as a presidential candidate.
Right.
This is stuff that I've been doing as a mayor that turned around a black and brown city with a coalition of folks. You know this as a United States Senator, the issues that I have picked, whether it's opportunity zones to move capital into under-invested in areas, or the criminal justice bill, the only major bipartisan bill that passed this president was the one that I led from the Senate side that liberated people from mass incarceration, to even on health issues, fighting for sickle cell anemia because it was undervalued and underinvested in, fighting for things that people don't think about, like making sure dental care access, which in our communities is important. So there's a whole lot of people running. The 2020 elections doesn't stand for the year, it stands for the number of people running, 2020. But there's one person in this race who has for their entire career dealt with the issues of communities that have been left out, looked down upon, left aside, fought and won battle after battle after battle by pulling people together to solve these problems. And I'm going to be that kind of president that puts this kind of agenda right in the center of the presidential work that I'm going to do during my 2 terms.
I saw one report that said you have not qualified yet for the next debate. That's in less than 30 days. The debate in September is going to be in Houston on the campus of Texas Southern University, right there in 3rd Ward. I went to high school literally right across the street. Many of those issues right there in the community. Here's what it's not my advice, but here's what that I want to see. I saw the last debate. I frankly felt that the moderators did not ask the type of questions that we're interested in. And to me, that's where I think where a candidate has to not go rogue, but literally say, wait a minute, let's talk about what's literally happening outside the doors here. I get it was in downtown Miami, but when you go to Michigan, okay, Flint is still an issue, infrastructure and water. To me, that has to be in front and center at these debates, because unfortunately the people who ask these questions, they're not from these communities.
So you saw, in fact, people mentioned this to me, that just about every answer, I brought it back to neighborhoods like mine. I talked about the shootings around my block because we have mass shootings every day in the aggregate in our country. I talked about the struggles in my neighborhood of people having access to things that people in other communities take for granted. Look, this election, I agree with you. For us, the best thing that ever happened to me was that last debate, because people saw me on the stage next to candidates, 20 million Americans. We had our best fundraising 7 days after that, got us thousands and thousands of new dollars, $1 donors. And please go to CoryBooker.com if you want my voice to stay in this. So we're closing in really quick on making sure we hit that 130,000 donor mark. We've passed 110,000 donors already, and we're just gaining momentum. And you can know that no matter where I go, I stand and represent. If you walk into the Senate office right now in the Capitol, you will see a massive map. The biggest thing on the wall is a map of the first people to take a chance on me, a map of the Central Ward of Newark that got me into elections. And the tenant president of the projects I lived into just asked me one thing. She helped me get elected. I wouldn't have gotten elected without her. She said, don't forget where you came from or the people that took a chance on you to put you in office. And that's why these issues, I'm with you. I'm frustrated when people don't talk about the issues that we see going on in too many communities around America. And when I'm on that Detroit debate stage, as a boy who was born to a mama born in Detroit, as my grandfather in the Black Northern Migration got a job, a union job on the assembly line that took my family out of poverty, I know the issues of our community, and I will continue to stand up and fight for them.
What do you make of Democratic candidates who are ardently opposed to charter schools? You know what happened there in Newark.
Yeah.
There have been a number of more than 200 leaders of color, charter schools, who have sent letters to Senator Bernie Sanders and others saying, look, what your position is wrong on this. The thing that I say in Michigan, as in support of charter schools, Betsy DeVos and her people screwed it up there, but you also have a screwed up public school system. At the end of the day, black parents want something that's going to succeed, and they don't care what it is, long as it's helping their children. And I just think that Democrats are wrong for that position. To me, you can do both. You can support traditional public schools and charter schools. I support success. I care about what works.
Well, don't lump me into Democrats that broad brush, because you know what happened in Newark. We were under state takeover. We had schools that were not serving the genius of our kids. And I stepped up and said, I just want great schools. And we fought and leveraged so much so we have charters. I actually closed bad charters because I'm like, if you can't perform, get out. I made one enrollment system that literally now we're the #1 school system in America for beat the odds schools, high poverty, high performance. If you're going to come after schools that are working for my black and brown low-income kids in Newark, you're going to have to come through me. Now, look, charters, you and I know, only 3% of the public schools in America. Why create these false divides?
That's why I keep saying, how can 3% of the schools be the problem for 97%?
We need to get back to focusing on public schools, public education. That's why my teachers union in New Jersey endorsed me twice for the United States Senate. My vision as a president is to getting localities the resources they need, raising teacher salary, making sure we fully fund special education, doing the things that we know that local leaders, if they're given the power and the strength and the resources, they can make sure every kid succeeds. That's why I support public schools. That's why I will fight against these Republican schemes, as you said, like Betsy DeVos, that often messed up our school systems or tried to privatize school systems in a way that would hurt kids.
Last question, it is education. All this back and forth between Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris over busing. I think what they have missed, folks don't want to talk about, busing was the word that replaced desegregation. And I think we got to get back and keep the focus on, we have segregated schools, and we have white parents who are sending their kids to schools. They're in better shape than black parents, and they don't want us in their schools. And so I think there's a whole back and forth over busing was good, was bad. Look, Robert Smith gave a speech in Morehouse. He said, busing is what gave me an opportunity. That's why he's now the richest black man in America. And so I think the game that's being played is wrong. This is about segregated schools in this country.
I'm so happy you said it that way. Segregation hurts all of us. And one of the biggest sources of segregated schools is segregated housing.
Right.
Policies that don't let African Americans afford to live in neighborhoods.
And segregated housing is tied to blocking us from getting opportunities when it comes to jobs.
You want to know something? I don't know if you know this story. You know why I had the opportunities I did? My parents were denied the house I grew up in because of the color of their skin, they had to get a white couple to pose as them to buy the house that we grew up in that had incredible public schools. And my brother and I were the first blacks to integrate this neighborhood, have a tremendous, tremendous set of opportunities. So this idea that we can exist as a nation divided against each other, we need leaders that can heal, bring people together, and affirm that in America, everyone should have equal opportunity.
Yep.
And by the way, when we're together, we do better.
Senator Cory Booker,
thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. MarijuanaStock.org is another great investment opportunity. If you were lucky enough to invest in their last crowdfunding campaign, you, of course, now know that those folks are invested in a publicly traded company. They raised a ton of money in a few months investing in legal marijuana farms. Now, of course, they have a new investment opportunity, which is as good or if not even better. I'm talking about industrial hemp CBD. For those who don't know, the hemp plant is the cousin to marijuana with a much higher concentration of CBD, which means hemp CBD gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Now, until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, the 2018 Farm Bill changed all of that, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. and creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all the plants, which makes for an incredible investment opportunity. And that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is real simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to high-paying tenants. That's right. They are hemp CBD landlords. And you can get in on the action. You can invest in the crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200 up to $10,000. Like I said, you may not want to miss out this opportunity. Go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org to get in the game and to do it now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.